And we're back with episode 2 of Your Proofs Are Trash. And this is a series where I roast viewer-submitted proofs. You might think, oh, who is this jerk who's just ripping into people trying to do math. In episode 1, I roasted my own proofs, and they were pretty bad. So I'm not up here all high and mighty. And these are all volunteered proofs, so people know what they're getting themselves into, and we're trying to have fun and be educational at the same time. But I do feel, actually, in today's episode, I'll be honest, I feel like the viewers didn't really understand the assignment. These proofs aren't that bad. There's some mistakes I think we'll see in some of them. That I can talk about, but they're not that bad. They're not that bad, to be honest. I'm gonna need to see some more serious garbage from all of you if we're gonna keep this series going. So hopefully for episode 3, I'll get more garbage. If not, I'll have to just reveal more terrible proofs that I wrote. Let me. Okay, I made some notes already. Oh, and we have there's something else at the end, a little bonus at the end, but yeah. So off the bat here, definitely wouldn't put spaces after the commas for these numbers. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think it makes it look a little less readable. I guess you could argue that it gives it a bit of room to breathe, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like it makes this expression slightly harder to parse. Of course, we've got standard, the floor function is not the right values. Use your proper floor function thing. What else we got going here? This proof doesn't really make sense, right? Because using the division algorithm, prove that every odd integer. So first off, yeah, you need to start off by supposing you have an odd integer somewhere, and where is that happening? Is a supposed to be odd? None of these variables. Some of these variables are declared over here, but yeah, I would start off let a be an odd integer, and then unpack that definition. What does it mean to be odd? And certainly something's gone wrong here, because this you've chosen an arbitrary k, and then you've said that a is equal to this arbitrary k. That's probably not going to hold in general. Obviously, align mode issues. I wouldn't use the therefore symbol, and it's not really clear why this is italicized here. So, yeah. So I guess some mistakes mathematically to be found here. Yeah, again, prove the cube of any integer has to be exactly one of these forms for some integer k. Adapt the hint in exercise 7. Well, I guess we don't have that hint, so we can't see what template they're working from. But cube of any integer, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I guess yeah, you can break. So I see what's going on here. They're trying to say something about the division theorem here. But yeah, so this is a mistake I see a lot of students making, right? They sort of repeat for me the full general abstract definition. You don't need to do that. You should expect that the reader knows that. You don't have to repeat the whole thing. What you should do is say, by the division theorem, let b be equal to, let a be an integer and let b be equal to 3. By the division theorem, there exists a q and r in integers such that blah, 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 blah. Also, I think it's always better. This is a very small nitpicky thing, and it's a thing that I kind of I'll break this rule sometimes myself, but I think it's better to instantiate a variable before you use it. So if you had something for all, or I don't know, you're trying to say a divides b, right? And then people might say something by definition, B is equal to AK for some K in the integers. I mean, this is perfectly fine. I wouldn't take marks off this for an assignment, and I would maybe even sometimes I would write like this in a mathematics paper. But I try not to, because in my mind it's better to instantiate this variable first. So I would instead say something like, by definition, there exists a K in here, right? So you instantiate it first, and then say such that B is equal to AK. Okay, that's like a minor thing, I guess, but maybe worth mentioning. Yeah, okay, so they've got different cases, that's fine. Again, could be using a line mode, maybe with some implications, right? Like there's no point in having this A3 here the whole time, it's redundant. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, this should not be here like this. Probably what happened, they made it display mode, they didn't know to use slash text in order to just have plain text in the display mode there. Yeah. Also, I mean, I would Euclidean algorithm this instead of just listing the factors. But what are you gonna do? Yeah, like how did you just get this answer? How did you just get this answer? Yeah, again, we see here there's some general. I mean, first off, yeah, it's also here. There's no quantifiers, right? So you need to say something about like the fact that there exists a Q. Also, no reason to just try to repeat a definition here. And this proof has 0 words, which is terrible. Your proof should never have 0 words. Your proof should never ever have 0 words. Yeah. So just adding more words here. But it looks like probably the idea there is correct. I think that does it for this one. Yeah, so I think the first 3 and the second 3, first 3 are one user, second 3 are one user, and then the last one is someone else. I think the way I did these ones chronologically is this user, like, chronologically through time. The second thing they sent me here, there's nothing wrong with this. I mean, I haven't looked at it closely, but I mean, assuming you're allowed to use truth tables, I mean, back when I was doing things with truth tables, I was doing this by hand with a ruler, so this looks absolutely fine to me. But I don't know, maybe you weren't supposed to use truth tables or something. And then their final one, I mean, yeah, maybe the point of these submissions is we're seeing someone's growth over time. I mean, look at this. This is incredible. You got pictures. You're using your Langle-Wrangles properly, or left braces and right braces properly. I mean, this all looks fantastic. It's a line mode is being used. We're seeing growth on someone's journey here, I think. I wouldn't write s dot t dot. Maybe this is more personal preference. Like use the colon, or just use words, and probably, yeah, I would not, because your argument's going one way part of the time anyway. So how can it go one way and you're using the ifs and only ifs? I mean, I think this argument would be way clearer just spelling this out. Just spelling this out a bit with words, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's an argument to be made here for these steps, but yeah, I think at this point in my life, I would just use more words. Yeah. But yeah, this last one seems pretty good. Oh yeah, this one says give an example. Yeah, so I mean your solution, I mean if the only part of your if the only thing you're doing here is supposing you have a pair of disjoint sets, you could just say like let A and A prime be a pair of disjoint sets. But even that I wouldn't really like I'd want something more explicit as an example. Like literally write down a pair of sets that are disjoint, right? If you recognize that that's the key to this. Oh, I love this color pen, but it's not going to look as good for you guys. I don't know, what do I, yellow, orange. Literally write down like A equals 1 and B equals the set containing 2 or something, and like really, really show that as an example. Yeah, where were we here? Yeah. So, but otherwise, I mean, this looks decent. Yeah, I mean, you could say maybe display mode some of this stuff. Yeah, especially like we got some pretty big cups here, big cups, big caps. Yeah, but overall not bad. I don't know if W log is being used appropriately here. Probably is, but I think a lot of students. I don't use it correctly. They don't know when to use it. I think you could also like just use your words in this case, but especially if you're teching it out. But also, like for example, I'll see students. They'll have a statement. It's like, oh, P or Q is true, and then they'll say like, will log suppose P. Which is like fine, but you don't really need to use a without loss of generality here, right? Like if you have an or statement, or maybe you're trying to prove an or statement, you can suppose not P, and then prove that Q follows, and that's enough to prove the or statement. And so yeah, I don't know, like off the top of my head, I don't know what a good without loss of generality example is, but I wouldn't use it for an or statement like that. Yeah, so we got some stuff to talk about. Here, what's this question? Proof for a function is injective if and only if. Yeah, I don't love this wording. If they're both functions, it means for all x. So exists unique. Yeah, gotta be careful. Sometimes people may use that for does not exist, but actually most sane people would think this exists unique. But you're sort of like, I don't know, putting the cart before the horse here. Yeah, I guess this is fine. Actually, I don't know why. I'm not sure why this is being said. I don't think that's the right way to phrase this. One. But overall, not bad. I mean, overall, not bad. I don't think this is comparable to my video, my first episode 1. So please, I'm begging you all, send me worse proofs for me to roast. I need them. Or I'll keep roasting myself, which you'd probably prefer, I'm sure. So we have a complex analysis assignment. We've got some function, and they do explain something about this function, and then how to break it into, what the real and imaginary, breaking it into U and V. But, then they go on to say they're proving that this can't be differentiable because it has to satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equations. And then they're saying that this follows, but they just sort of say it, which is true. But I would just do this computation, right? You set these equations up. You said what u is supposed to be equal to, and what y is being equal to. So I would just do this computation, like write du by dx. Replace u with what its actual equation is. Okay, in this case it's just 0, but like actually show that it's equal to 0, and then say, but this contradicts the fact that it has to be equal to this or something, right? I mean, in this case, yeah. So I would just add that extra little bit of computation. Otherwise, I think the rest of this one looks great. I didn't read it so carefully, but like, yeah, look at this. We got display mode, nice left-right braces. Looks like we got full sentences, grammatically correct. We're saying our let blah 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 equal blah blah blah. Yeah, looks decent. We're proving something's integral. We're rigorously defining our contour function here. Yeah, I don't know if there's... I mean, there's maybe weird stuff going on with some of the align mode here, but nothing I'd be too upset about, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna need worse assignments than this. Yeah, so like this, look, we got pictures. We got actual pictures in the assignment, and we've got these nice sort of embedded fractions here. I mean, this isn't bad at all. I can maybe quibble about the left-right stuff there, but yeah, I'll have to make this one up to you guys by showing you worse proofs in the next episode. So I hope you can wait. I hope this episode tides you over for now. But this all looks fine. Yeah, I mean, align mode, basic things I complain about. Yeah. And let's look at thesis project. I mean, this is probably... This is nice, right? I was talking about 1/2 spacing before. We got some 1/2 spacing going on. Definitely a good move for your submitted homework. Yeah. I guess this is an excerpt, so we don't have access to Lemma 2. But if this is a thesis project, I mean, nowadays you can have your numbers linked. It should actually be linked. You should be using the ref command. But I mean, now this part looks great. So maybe this is someone else whose growth we're seeing over time. We've got these nice diagrams. I mean, this polynomial is abysmal. But there's not a lot you can do about it. I mean, so if I had my editor hat on, I do some technical editing sometimes. I would maybe... yeah, it's hard because of this expression down here. Yeah, I would maybe put this up top so that you could have this aligned with the start of like the equal sign, and maybe align this with here, and drop this down below, just so you could have all the equal signs lined up. That's usually what I do in the documents. I do technical editing, and but the rest of this looks fine, to be honest, without looking too closely. Clearly is always a dangerous word. I just try to avoid it. Of course, I end up using it sometimes myself, but I feel like it's better to just avoid this language, clearly obvious and whatnot. Maybe say it's a straightforward computation or something, but then you better be sure you did the computation correctly. This last one here, yeah, I don't know why this person sent this, because this looks fine. I haven't stared very closely at it. Yeah, I mean, we see a W log here, but we got align mode, we got our left-right. I mean, it doesn't mean the mathematical content's correct, but I want to believe. Yeah, I mean, just scanning it briefly, this all looks okay to me. Yeah, this generally looks okay, so I don't know. This all looks pretty good. And for a last one, I'm pretty sure this person knows that they're not a crackpot, and they know that their math isn't bad, and they maybe just want some free advertising for their book that they have online. But I'm happy to oblige. I'm no stranger to shameless self-promotion on the internet. So they have a book that they've been working on, which is really cool. It looks nice. It's got all this cool clickable stuff on it, where they talk about a different, I guess, way of axiomatizing the numbers that they call prod. So there's cool stuff. There's linkable preliminaries. What do we have here? Yeah, there's stuff. Where was it? If I go to pre, there's some cool things here, I think. Sets. Yeah, there's cool stuff like here where you can like click for answer. Like, I want to make some notes, maybe some notes to accompany my videos like this one day. Like, this all looks pretty good. Oh, but I mean, this is detestable, I will say. Even, for the set of even numbers, that is, at least if you're going to do that, like, use MathRM or text. MathRM probably, but ooh, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. I would just use an N, or if you really want to call it names, I don't know. Yeah, MathRM or something. Also, people will fight me for this, but I don't like using this for isomorphism. I like the two straight signs with the squiggle on top. And I like saving this for weaker forms of equivalences, like homotopy or something, or equivalence of categories, maybe. Yeah, so they talk about the ordinary axiomization, and then in this section, I guess they talk about, so the set of prods, they call it, capital Pi. So first they assume zeros in there, then they assume any numbers are in there. There's this number, which is this block of stuff, and basically this is supposed to be like the integer who x1 is the power of the first prime, or the exponent of the first prime in the prime decomposition, x2 is the exponent of the next prime in the prime decomposition, and so on and so forth. Yeah, and they said that's it, the rest is commented. They got all these nice links and everything. I mean, yeah, I think probably this person knows they're not a crackpot, and this seems really fun. Oh, and one thing I will say, this is great. I love the copyright. I sure hope you do. Yeah. Okay, so that has been episode 2 of Your Proofs Are Not So Trash. So please send me more of your garbage. The worse it is, the better. But I hope it's authentic. I hope it's authentic garbage. Terrible, but authentically terrible. Mind you, if you're a viewer of my channel, you can't be that bad at math, right? So I definitely make you better at math with every view, guaranteed. But email will be in the description if you want to submit your own garbage proofs. If I don't get enough garbage by next week, well, I guess I'll have to talk about my own. But now it's time to go prove some theorems.